Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the use of the term Kentucky whiskey for a brand conforming to bourbon standards outside of the United States. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kaylee Baker, Kathy Poole, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
So we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be talking about this idea. It's a distillery out of Israel where they put Kentucky whiskey on there to note something that was, they followed all the rules of bourbon other than the fact they're not in the United States. And what do we think about that? But we'll get to that after the break. I think it's a very interesting discussion. Before we get to the question of the day, it's going to come from Katie. Katie, last time we talked and we did shows together, you hadn't been in the ABV Barrel Shop because you hate the shop and me and everything else. But you came by. It was
Very
great.
personal.
It did.
It felt like a time of healing, didn't it? It was good for us.
It was wonderful. Everything I could have ever imagined and more. And I forgot to go to the bathroom, so I will be back again soon.
All right. Yes, you got to get the selfie. So McNew started that tradition out. We apparently have a very good selfie bathroom. So yeah.
You do. It has good lighting, a cool little sticker on the mirror. It's fun in there.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Katie, you bought one of our hazmat picks. Have you tried that one yet?
I have not tried it since I left the shop.
Yeah,
so
you tried it at the shop,
there.
but you haven't done it. Yeah,
I'm very excited.
It's really good stuff, isn't it? It's amazing. Yeah, really.
I have to go grab. I'll go grab it for the show.
Okay,
that's what I'll do.
All right, but you said you wanted to ask the question of the day. What is that? What are we talking about?
So for those who have pets or who have had pets, has there been a moment where there was like an item you bought for your pet or like a habit you have for your pet where you realized they're epically spoiled or you are epically trained by your pet?
Right.
And like, what was that breaking moment?
Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah, McNew, I know
like
McNew, she bought a ball pit.
Moment where you realize you're like, have I gone too far?
Yeah. So I did buy them. It was before we got Sosa. It was just Oakley and Saint. And I was in New Orleans. It was one of the bourbon fests. And I was very drunk in an Uber and missed them very much. So I sent them a ball pit from Amazon while I was gone. And they did not give a shit about it. They were not happy about
They didn't like the ball pit. No.
Zero interest in it.
They're not a 3-year-old toddler that would be into the ball pit. They're a dog.
I thought Saint would like it. I thought he would just like dive into it because he likes to dive into our blankets on our bed. I thought he would have fun. Zero interest. I got rid of it. And then I bought them a kiddie pool last summer. Didn't want to swim. They just used it as a water bowl. They have zero interest in these fun things. I buy them.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I have 2 dogs, and every day they get at least 1 frozen Kong. And in this Kong, I have mixed 2 cans of pumpkin, 1 can of green beans, some applesauce, and 4 scoops of kibble. So the reason I was almost late tonight is because I was waiting for them to finish the one that they had so I could reload them, because I don't want to do it in the morning. I want them frozen overnight so I can get up in the morning and hand them their frozen Kong. They play with that for 45 minutes. But one of my dogs, he won't finish it without help. So after he's been working on it for about 20 minutes, I have to go stomp on it with my foot and try and loosen it up for him, or else he just stares at me.
He definitely trained you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a healthy snack and it keeps him busy for 45 minutes.
All right. Kaylee?
So I don't know if there's a point where I like bought them. I don't really, have a whole lot of extra spending money. So I keep it pretty simple.
The
with their
basics.
gifts.
Sure.
They had a bark
You
box
say
for a
there's
while, and that
huge
was like
wall of whiskey behind you.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like 4
Investment.
years ago when I made a lot more than I do right now. So this whiskey has been around for a little bit, but so they did have a bark box for a while, but we got rid of that because it was just too much, and they already have a bunch of toys. But the one moment that I realized that I had fucked up and spoiled my dog too much is like in the middle of the night, I will be uncomfortable to make sure that she's comfortable. Like, because she gets it. She sleeps in the bed with us. And we have a king size bed and probably sleep on a twin size portion of it because they take up the whole bed.
Let me tell you that my husband and I have a 200-pound dog that sleeps between us, which is like having a whole other person sleep between you. It is.
And then there was another moment that I realized she really had me trained as well. If I'm sitting up and I have my feet up like on a recliner and I have just like no shoes on, my toes are just hanging out, she'll rub her chest on my toes to give herself a pet when I'm not like petting her. So I think I've spoiled her with pets because she's a little intense. I think she hears me talking about her because you hear like
I heard her shaking, scratching.
She's in bed.
I don't know that I have spoiled my pets like that. I think I give them a good life, but I never went over that. They never got a ball pit for anybody or anything like that. I had a Maine Coon cat, which those are about twice the size of any other cat. So I had to buy all Maine Coon appropriate stuff, and then had to change the cat door when he got too big. We had the biggest size cat door, but then he was too big for that, so we had to go to a dog door. So stuff like that. I just made sure. But again, I felt a bond with him because I'm a big guy, and he was just a big cat. So that was about it. We've had dogs and cats, but nothing too crazy. So. Katie, you asked the question though. There's got to be something here for you.
Yes. So just this week, I used to live on property and my animals could just go outside free roam, but now I live in a subdivision currently. And so I take the dog out on walks, and every time I come back, the cat is sitting sadly at the front door, and he's sad that he can't go outside with us. And so this week, I bought a stroller for the cat.
Okay.
So I can zip him into a mesh stroller. And I can take him on walks with us. And then I also,
if you're Katie's neighbor, send me a photo of this. I want to post that.
Cat neighbor, but I like it.
It's such a bougie cat. That's a bougie cat.
And I got the one with like cup holders, so I can have my drink with me, and it's got like a phone. So it's equipped. And then I have a fenced backyard, but the cat will just walk right through the fence. Yeah. And so, because he was free before, he could walk down to the barn, go wherever. He knew to stay like on the acreage before, but now he doesn't understand the concept of a yard. And so I got him these wings. They're like bat wings that I'm going to try to put on him so that he can't fit between the slats in the fence.
I saw that on the internet.
So stupid.
I love it.
And we're going to see how it goes. They arrived today. So,
it's actually not a bad idea with the stroller.
I'm photos. I need them.
Because I let him out on the deck because there's no stairs on the deck and he hangs out there. But if I'm down like out in the backyard, or I found out if he's really wanting in the yard and just pissed off, that little jerk will just jump off the side of the deck, and it's like a 10-foot drop. And I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself. Right. And so he might have to start wearing his bat wings when he goes outside.
Yeah, that's the only way he's going to learn. Yeah.
You're like, I can fly.
All right. Well, on that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We'll start with Kathy this time. Kathy, what do you got?
I am going to crack open, since we talked about the barrel shop, I'm going to crack open my Pawpaw's birthday
Okay.
barrel.
Brand new bottle you just picked up today.
This is the one I bought when you first opened, so now I have two.
Oh, nice.
So good till the table came into play.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there. There was a table, there was a pop, then a table, then a slush. It was all there. So
I got no form tonight.
that's going to be a tough one to judge. But you do have the lead right now. But I feel like it could be beat quite easily. McNew, what do you got?
I have another sample. It's a new Riff pick, but I can't read the label, so I don't know what pick it is.
Sure,
but
sure.
it's from New Riff.
Just drink that. There you go.
Yeah, I'll just drink it.
All right, I'll go next. I've got Buzzard's Roost here. This is barrel strength Buzzard's Roost. So there you go. All right, cork pop. Now, Katie, excuse me. Kathy still has the lead.
Their names are all Kaylee, Katie, and Kathy. We're so
You give me all
separate
these
in names. Why are you?
Yes.
You set it up.
Now, I feel like I'm going to get a nasty text about that later. You don't even remember my name, and the whole thing goes on there. So yeah, that was a bad.
She's already on her phone texting right now.
Oh yeah, the text will be coming through. You'll hear the ding any second. All right.
Instagram.
So Kathy is up first. She's got the lead. So next up is going to be Katie. Katie, what do you got?
All right. I also have an ABV barrel pick.
Oh, there you go.
My Missouri Ridge Distillery.
Out of Branson, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, there's the lead. She stuck the landing too. That was good. Look at Katie. Look at the face. She was like, just the confidence. She knew.
Nailed it.
She knew. All right. So Katie has the lead right now. Kaylee, you're standing between her and victory though, so you could still snatch this thing away from her. What do you got?
I got some Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Okay. Pretty new bottle. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, pretty new bottle.
Okay. Oh, that was really good, but not good enough. Not good enough. Katie takes it. So, yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, second place. So, cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this label of Kentucky whiskey. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Freddie Mills, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about a foreign brand using Kentucky whiskey on their label.
Yes, we are. So this distillery out of Israel, again, followed all the standards to make bourbon, 51% corn, brand new charred oak barrel, all that stuff, did everything that they're supposed to do. But they, of course, cannot call it bourbon because they are not in the United States. Because one of the rules is it has to be made in the U.S. So what they decide to do is they call it Kentucky whiskey. The idea of, and then that allows them to explain to their customers, what does that mean? So it's interesting because I think Kentucky whiskey does convey something, but it also is misleading too because it's not whiskey that was made in Kentucky. So maybe we'll start talking, Katie, with legalities here and stuff like that. I like what they're trying to do because I like the idea of bourbon being made in other places. They can't call it that, but again, that gives you a perspective. I'd like to try it and see what a bourbon tastes like that would be made out of Israel, for instance, in this example. But are we okay with them calling it Kentucky whiskey? Is what they decided to do, what they put on their label? Are we cool with that?
You can't call Kentucky bourbon unless it's made in Kentucky. Like, I mean, it has to be distilled or it has to be aged for a certain amount of time in Kentucky for you to have the word Kentucky straight bourbon on the label.
I would like if they
It's
put the
not
word.
they're not calling it bourbon though.
Nope.
They're calling
Right.
it Kentucky whiskey.
Yeah, but I think it's the same with whiskey. Like, I think because we have a Tennessee straight whiskey, but I don't think you can call something a Kentucky whiskey if it's not
That wouldn't be
distilled
a
in
federal
Kentucky.
rule by any means, right,
right.
Katie?
I guess
So
Yeah.
we're going to get into some jurisdiction discussion here.
Right.
This is a whole different country.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is a totally different country. And so while we do have our federal law about bourbon, and so that on its own, I think they're smart for not trying to use the word bourbon. I think
Right.
it's clearly bourbon is our federal law. They would run into some major issues there. I think they're smart to not try to infringe on that.
Yep. The feds won't enforce this. They're not going to be like, you can't put Kentucky whiskey. They're not involved in that. They're like, no. I don't,
So the Kentucky whiskey is codified under Bill 100, but that is Kentucky state law.
okay. Yeah.
That's not federal law.
Right.
Anywhere
Then it
else.
becomes a question of, is there any jurisdiction for the state of Kentucky to enforce their state law
I
onto
wouldn't think so.
the country of Israel?
Right. I don't think they can.
I don't think this guy cares, and that's
And
what I got.
I don't think he
He
gives a
didn't
shit.
care.
Oh, my thing, if they put Kentucky style whiskey,
Yes.
the word
That's
style,
exactly
That would be
what
better.
I was going to say.
That would be better.
100% agree.
That's what they should have done.
'cause I had a friend from Germany send me some samples and he put American style whiskey, which absolutely could have been a bourbon, had all the qualifications for a bourbon, except it was made in Germany. So he went around that, said American style. They could say Kentucky style whiskey, 100% here
I
for
think
that.
that would be
I
the
think that-
solution.
I think that one word, that one little word would make a huge difference in people being more acceptive of this.
Yeah, but
I
the
think-
difference is we would not be talking about it here in the United States, would we?
True. True.
Oh,
And that's the part that puts a bad taste in my mouth, because while it's a technicality of, oh, well, that's state law, or, oh, well, can you force this? And, oh, well, any news is good news where you're talking about me, it's disrespectful. And that I think of that, it's making it sound Kentucky is a place, and saying it's Kentucky whiskey gives the inference that it is
Yes.
made in that place.
Mhm.
And so without putting the word style there, I think they were intending to cause confusion, intending to cause that discussion. And I think it's disrespectful, and it's something I do not want to support.
yeah.
So Katie's coming up with that legality of intent, like they intended to be confusing, is what
Right.
it sounds like.
I would like the Kentucky Attorney General to at least contact them and say, could you put style on there? And then we're fine with it. It's actually a compliment if you do that. But
Sure.
we don't like what you're doing, because you're making it sound like this is whiskey out of here, which it is not. And we're actually cool with you kind of replicating what's going on with bourbon, and we might even like to try it. But I wish that would happen. They're not going to actually be able to do anything in court and stop them. But I think I always think conversation is the best way to resolve anything, and I think there should be a conversation there. And
I think if it was Kentucky style whiskey or something, I think it would be passable. But I think calling it Kentucky whiskey is very misleading.
I think it would absolutely be the best but the best outcome would be Kentucky leaders getting involved, reaching out, basically saying, "Hey, cool, thanks for being a fan, but let's work together, come to something that works for both of us." Then being respectful of that. Great, you caused your attention, you got it. Now let's fix it. Everyone gets their way.
Yeah. So that's again, a good overview of what happened, where we stand on it. Again, not 100% against the idea of what they're doing, but the way they executed it is
shady. I'm so torn on being like, no, F you for being like shady and like making things confusing. I don't want to support you, but also at the same time, like, we're talking about you, so that was really smart. So like, I'm just so freaking torn both directions.
Right.
Yeah, they could even use inspired instead of style, like something that says not made in Kentucky inspired. Also a compliment.
Also, I'm really freaking like, I want to know what it tastes like. Like,
I know, right? That's why if they would have done it right,
we're page over there, man.
I'm like, gosh, darn it! I want to know what it tastes like too.
I wonder if they do barrel picks. We'll reach out to them.
This would be your first foreign barrel tasting.
Because the other thing I looked at too was to see, are they trying to sell it in other countries? But right now, I think they are only selling it in Israel. I believe.
All right. Last question.
Along the countries in that area.
Okay.
So
one of our friends is an importer, and he always talks about he imports some different things for his distillery. And he's like, I can get you anything if it's I have the ability to bring it in. If we would reach out to them and they would be like, yeah, we'll sell you a barrel of that. Could we potentially get in trouble, Katie, if we're like, we're selling this bottle that says Kentucky style whiskey, that's made in Israel? Could somebody come after us, or would be, hey, you still got to go after the distillery. We're just,
that's up to the distillery, I believe. No, just for selling.
As long as
you legally imported it and followed the importing laws, you're fine. It would be, now we could do that to import it. So then there's a tension and that is now being sold on American soil. So then there may be jurisdiction for fighting them. So let's import it to Kentucky and then there may be jurisdiction for fighting them.
Okay. Well, yes, I just want to get it in because I want to try it. I honestly want to see somebody's followed the rules of bourbon, made it in a different country, especially so far away as Israel, and what that would mean. I just think it would be a fun thing to try. But
I'm thinking about their climate, and don't you think it would taste more like Texas bourbon than Kentucky?
You would think, but yeah. And what does that look like?
What's their filtration system like in their water?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
There's only one.
Who knows?
To find out.
We can't imagine very good, but
also not try
send
it.
a bottle if you're listening.
Send us a bottle. There you go. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kaylee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Come see me out at Leatherwood Distillery or follow me on Instagram at Kaylee O Baker or at the Bourbon Bakers.
All right, Kathy.
I'm on Instagram, KK Cask Strength.
All right, Katie.
You can find me conflicted in the corner and also over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
All right, McNew.
Also on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.